This is the Night Elves Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
B4.
Hit.
So, since we don't have video, we got these sound insulator thingies.
Yeah, like dampeners or something.
Yeah, they go between our mics. So hopefully this sound is crisp and clean and beautiful. And we don't get up a lot of echo in our mics, but not like we had a lot of it, but yeah, they kind of look like we're playing Battleship almost.
Yeah, that's
like,
exactly what it was. So, they got like the teeth looking things. That,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you could almost like put your battleships and stuff in there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, social medias. Here you go. If you want more quality, like just riveting, cutting edge, and if I'm being serious, super uneducated, unsolicited, disc golf talk. Door_disc_owl. Oh. Hold on, let me see.
Rewind.
This is this quality we're talking about here.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Night_owls_pod. That's a podcast. Door_disc_golf. And then doordisc.com. And then also, we do have a YouTube. There is only 3 videos up. We'll work on it. We'll get some more. I actually ordered a camera today with mics and all that fun stuff. Like, not a crazy camera, just a Rebel. A Canon Rebel.
Oh, nice.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah, so we'll see. All right, let's get into it. Are you ready?
Yes.
How do you feel about entitlement?
That's such a vague question.
It absolutely is. For a very good reason.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Gosh, I hate having that feeling that people want to take ownership over things that probably aren't theirs for the most part, or they feel like they deserve something that because of status or something like that it should just be okay.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, not a good thing, but there are times where I think hard work pays off and you are entitled to something that you've earned. So in that point, yes, you have to work for it to earn it. And then I feel like perhaps you are entitled to whatever it is you worked for.
Right. Yeah, to the agreement, to the contract that you have with whomever it is you're working for.
Exactly.
Right? Yep. So I went on this long rant with my niece the other day because I just told you that I installed a trail cam looking at our firewood stand at one of our motels. Because 2 times within the last 3 weeks, because it's on our system, they opened the money box and took in everything out and broken the money boxes twice, the drop boxes. And I'm not really mad about the money. It's a principle thing. Like, I'm pissed off that someone would steal someone else's stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's that entitlement that I deserve that. Like, no, you don't. Like,
yeah. This is for wood, right?
This is wood, yeah. Firewood,
like
camp firewood.
One thing to maybe just take the bundle without paying for it, right?
Expect that's going to happen, I'm sure.
Right, sure. But to go in and actually take people's money that had actually paid for the wood, ballsy.
Yeah. Well, and it's disappointing because it's an amenity for the property.
Yeah.
So we don't charge. We charge 75 cents a bundle more than we buy it for.
Oh wow.
So,
okay. Well, that's not bad.
Not a lot,
No.
But when you talk maybe we sell 300 bundles a year, and when 1 or 2 get taken off of a rack, it's no big deal. But
sure.
When you get almost $200 taken out of the thing, you're like, well, that wasn't worth it anymore.
Yeah.
So, but nevertheless, I went on this huge long rant that why is it that anybody feels that they deserve something that they didn't work for? Ever.
Right. Right.
And I think it's a sense of entitlement that sometimes comes with, I think maybe I don't know, maybe it's a societal thing. Maybe it's a demographic thing. Maybe who knows what it is. Maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. I don't have those answers.
Maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just a person thing.
Right.
Maybe that person
it
is just an idiot, or a harsh word maybe, but maybe not. So we say all this to get back to something that is completely 100%. These next words are all going to be speculation. It's going to be how we feel. There's no fact to it. It is just what we think right now. right? And that could change within the next day or two as more comes
It
out.
won't.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. But we'll start with that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go off the hinges and call somebody entitled when we don't know the whole story. But the train tracks have been laid towards this direction for quite some time now. Mm-hmm. So there is a thing that happened at Emporia Country Club prior to practice opening up for disc golfers.
Yes.
And this involved Paige Peirce. So you heard about it, I'm sure.
Like listeners or
No,
me personally?
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm the one that put it in our group text.
Oh, because I had heard it about 2 hours prior to that.
Oh, really?
Ben Kowalski
Kowalski?
had sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, this is crazy.
I saw it on PDGA Rodman's Instagram, and I was like, oh, what's this? And then I went to the newspaper article, the Emporia Gazette, and I was like, you guys got to check this out.
Yeah. Well, in a post I had put maybe like 4 or 5 hours prior, maybe it was the night before, I had posted one where it was Tatar looking at her. It's like, I'm number one now. You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dang. Yeah. Well timed, I guess.
Yeah.
So here's the story. The incomplete story, maybe the full story, who knows? Obviously, Nate Perkins was involved.
Yeah.
Right?
According to the Ulti-World article that had followed like a couple hours, I think later in the afternoon,
Okay.
Nate did a lot of the talking for the interview.
Yeah. And, maybe he is chosen as the official spokesperson. I think it's kind of shady that the person involved directly did not speak. Mm-hmm. Are we above reproach?
I mean, I heard that she went off property. Like, she was asked to leave and she left.
After
then,
the cops were called, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she was contacted for, questioning, and she denied.
Right. And that's why I'm curious why Nate Perkins feel that he needs to
I
share
don't
all
know.
this information. That's why I'm wondering if Paige asked him to, or if he's just, I need the spotlight.
He's the white knight.
Yeah, exactly.
the spokesperson.
Yeah. So now that we have all that speculation out there right now, so what happened is basically Paige Peirce was given keys to a cart, and this is kind of pulling from both sides of the story. Mm-hmm. So Paige Peirce went to practice in Emporia Country Club prior to practice being open for Worlds. Mm-hmm. She got keys to a cart and started to go out to practice. Another employee, and there's speculation whether it was a board member or an employee,
right?
Or a member or an employee that gave her the keys for the cart.
Right. Yeah, I'd heard one of the stories said member, and then someone might have said board member or like clubhouse something or other.
Yeah, or a staff. Yeah. So you don't know if they were officially connected or if they were just a member, or so those two things, that's unclear. What is clear is that an employee came up to her and said, "Hey, you can't practice." How it was said, no one knows but those two, and whoever was standing around it. But hey, you can't practice. Please give me your keys, or give me your keys, or stop right now. Give me your keys. I don't care how it was said.
And then she, I don't know if it was said that she was going to call the cops right away because it was like trespassing.
Yeah, I mean, they use that as trespassing, but
yeah,
I think they're really trying to grasp for things. Yes, it might have been if you were asked to leave and you don't at that point, I'm sure it's trespassing.
Yeah.
Because it is still a public facility, is not a member facility, correct?
So you have to pay to be a member.
But anybody can go and play as long as they pay, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's certain amenities when you're a member. I know because I don't golf like regular. Like I know there are certain places that have memberships, and that gives you certain amenities and whatnot. Like they have a pool there, you can use the pool and like bar and whatever else. So who knows?
Yeah. And this is not the first time we've ever heard drama from Emporia Country Club. I mean, from DDO or Glass Blown, like there was the pool goers, there's the dogs, there's the blah, blah, blah. There's every year there's something, a couple things. But nevertheless, so she was asked to leave, and that's where as a business that operates for the public, coming onto my property is not trespassing because I'm selling a service. If I ask you to leave and then you do not, then it becomes an issue.
Yep.
I don't know what the official law is or whatever, but then it becomes an issue. So if I refuse service to you and say, please leave my property, at that point you have to leave. So what it sounds like is once she was asked to leave the property, that now this is also hearsay, that she turned around and grabbed her nether regions and said, suck my, fill it in, and not of the male and anatomy. So,
Right.
and I find that hilarious if she did say that. Appropriate, not so much.
No. Because I also had there's also another segment of this that said that she asks to speak to a manager, I believe, because she was interested in becoming a member. I don't know at what point that happened, but it sounded like she had, like after this interaction happened or something, that she asked to speak to a manager. She was denied from the report that she wanted to become a member of the club. Okay, so the other thing about this is that this happened on a Monday.
Prior to the course being open for players.
Right. And Country Club has a rule that Monday, no disc golfers are allowed to be on the course for disc golf.
Okay.
So, and I heard also that perhaps that, I think Doug's the TD.
Bierkes, yeah.
Yeah. So in the players, in the caddy book and everything, it was said that this was a rule at the club. Like it was sent out to them, prior to the tournament that Mondays it's off limits. So maybe she didn't check her email or someone didn't forward the information to her or whatever.
It's not an excuse, but yeah,
right.
Possible.
So that's possible that she just didn't know. But it's hard to say that of years of playing in an Emporia that Paige Peirce didn't know that this was a rule. Unless it's a newly adopted rule. I don't know.
Right.
We don't know. I don't know how long that's been in play.
I guess, yeah, I would agree. And I remember when I was there and I wanted to play it, it was closed. I don't remember what day it was or anything. And that was just a random, like it was in the middle of nowhere. I was driving my grandfather's car back from California.
Is that when you played?
That's when I played Peter Pan.
Peter Pan, yeah.
Yeah. And and it was horrible weather. I played like 8 holes or something like that. And I was like, peace out. I'm out. Like, I can't do this anymore. But nevertheless, it was closed at that time. And then I also heard that, and this must tie into the I want to be a member, because I also heard that she was boasting about how much money she has. I
had heard that as well.
And speculation. Once again, she could or couldn't have. And if she did, not a great move. Now, she is new to money. And a lot of that stuff sometimes just takes a little time to get used to understand that not everybody cares how much money you have, right. Nor does it push your status in society in any way, shape, or form. In most circles.
Yeah.
Right? So with that, if that's boastful, but ultimately it looks like from the very beginning, your net can't be there on Monday.
Right.
You go there anyways, expecting to play, hoping you get special treatment. The entitlement aspect. Then when you do potentially get that special treatment and someone finally says, no, this is the rule, you can't be here, it's Monday, or you can't play yet, or the conditions are so bad we don't want the carts out there, or whatever it may be. Yeah. At that point you say, all right, sounds good, I'll see you tomorrow.
Right?
Because it was one more day, right? That's all she had to wait. It was Tuesday, everything opened up.
From PDG rules are that courses are open to practice
3 days prior.
Yes. Officially with like OB, all the lines, everything officially painted in. That's the minimum. Or right, yeah.
Right.
But I guess she could just, if go the next day and just practice without any of that stuff put into place. Just play the course.
I think Dee Dee had it from Tuesday to Thursday to Thursday?
No, that's right. But they had to pay the greens fees.
Until Friday.
Right. Yep, that's how it went.
Yep. So they had more than a week to practice. She just wanted to get out there early. And she's hungry. I get the reasons why she wants to get that competitive
She wants to be
advantage.
Beth. They have a bet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
I get it. I get all of those reasons. Like, I understand the hunger. I understand the drive. And honestly, I respect it. But not the right way to go about it.
Right.
If all of this is true. But obviously it is. Because cops were called. So Karen and Karen meet head to head in the wild. These are bad things. You know, like every once in a while they cross each other's paths in the wild. And if they decide to Karen on each other, like that's what it sounded like happened. Like, one Karen decided to approach another Karen, Paige, and both went full Karen. One called the cops. The other said, suck my
Yeah.
weenie. Which she doesn't have. So what if they obliged? What if they were so inclined to say yes? Like, I feel like that would be a conflict of interest, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I wasn't expecting that.
All right. Well, then. Okay. Well, I'm not sure where to go from this. So, but yeah, I guess when I look at it, I think probably bad choices on both sides.
Yeah.
Is what the situation is going to come down to. Like, I think probably somebody on the Emporia Country Club side approached her in a way that was probably unprofessional.
Yeah.
And it's most likely guaranteed that Paige Peirce came back at her in an unprofessional way.
Right.
And so on. So I've also seen a post, I don't know if it's true or not, that Paige Peirce is potentially going to go in front of the PGA board for this.
Oh,
which I'm not sure how this can be, because it's not during practice time. It's not officially. It's just her going out and practicing a course that happens to be used for World in a week and a half.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's interesting, because I did see Jeff Jacquot.
Yeah.
He put out a statement.
I love his statement, by the way,
about Paige. You know, saying that it wasn't professional. They don't condone it and everything. And then people are like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe he went at her and said this and that." But it's like what he said is like absolutely true.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can't conduct yourself in that manner. You know, you need to uphold these relationships to be able to use these courses in the future. I mean, you can't jeopardize that.
Yeah.
And it's weird too, like, and these people are like, oh, these athletes, you know, they help the tour, they're funding them, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, what other choice do they have? I mean, they can go play on the European tour.
Exactly.
It's not the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the money's like over there, but
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
and this is a PDGA event. This isn't the Pro Tour event.
right?
Either.
It's not. Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I don't know. It's hard for me to look at this situation and find fault in the country club. I see, especially from the rules that we're seeing, I'm seeing fault almost 100% on the player, because she shouldn't have been there. Plain and simple. So if she was not there, it would not have happened, right?
Right.
I mean, and she wasn't supposed to be there. So why this could have been wholly avoided by just not being there when you're not supposed to be there.
Well, it's crazy too, because you know, she asked, you know, how she can become a member. Well, if you're a member, you would know the rules.
Exactly.
You still
Couldn't
be
play
there.
anyways.
Yeah. Like, that doesn't change anything.
Exactly.
It's just crazy.
It is unfortunate that is such a big blemish, and it's getting around so quickly, and it's becoming news, because that's going to make Emporia Country Club, who Dynamic Discs has done a fantastic job of creating a fantastic relationship with. That's going to make them think twice the next time. You know? So getting back to it, I feel that this is a entitlement thing. You know, I feel that she has this chip on her shoulder that she has to make a change in disc golf for the better. Whether it's what everybody wants to see or what she wants to see, I could tell you, I could care less on these type of changes.
Through the station.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, she's on this mission, and it doesn't matter who's in her way. And she makes enough money. She has the biggest voice. She said it in her documentary. I have the voice to do it. I don't care what other people think. I'm finally to a point where it doesn't matter if someone doesn't like what I say. Yeah, it does. Like, words matter. You know, so
Actions probably almost more.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, bad choice. And when she talks about in that thing, that one of those humbling moments about, like, she was crying about, man, I shouldn't have acted that way because the people that wear my logo, you know, the little girls that wear my logo, where's that at? So once again, that was regret, not sorry. That's regret.
Yeah.
You know, you made a choice. You don't like it after you made the choice.
And it's that public image.
Exactly. So, you know, if all of this is true, bad move. If it's not, poo-poo on us. But nevertheless, it still makes for good talk.
Or, you know, she likes to go on social media, just clear the air.
Exactly.
Like, that's what needs to be done.
Yeah. You know, and the fact that she wouldn't talk about it says something.
Yeah.
If there was nothing to be talked about, she could have been like, well, I have no idea what you're talking about. I left right away. I don't know why they called the cops. That would have been easy to say if that was the case.
Right.
It wasn't. So obviously, if she's denying, you know, she's denying even just having a conversation with somebody about it. So All right.
Anyway.
Entitlement? I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Sounds
so.
like a case of it.
Exactly. So, all right, let's do a real quick recap, and then we'll get back to our thrower, hanger, flipper. So the preview, we are going to go over our Des Moines picks. Des Moines.
Des Money.
Yeah, Des Moines. Ooh, Moines.
Yeah.
Official Worlds picks. We're going to go over Brody's actions on hole 5. How despicable that the disc went out of bounds. But anyways, sex workers, eh? Well, see you later. We'll get to what that means. All right, listener and bag analysis. And then we have a random question. So here we go. What'd you buy? Thrower, hanger, flipper?
It was almost another week of buying nothing.
Man,
Almost.
even with the full tilt coming out?
Not interested.
No, neither was I.
Yeah. I stopped in the shop yesterday and Cam was working. And he's like, "Are you here for the full tilt?" And I just kind of looked at him. And I was like, "Not so much." He's
No.
like, "Yeah, no." But there's only one left when I stopped in.
Yeah, and that was not left because it just didn't get put into an order. So we were completely sold out.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
Yeah. And then I was looking at the P1s, and I was looking at I'd never thrown one or touched one just because by the time I started throwing Discmania, I couldn't find any. But similar to a Rainmaker, I feel like maybe a little more.
They're less stable though, aren't they?
Yeah, Rainmaker's 0.5 fade, and the P1's at 0. It's 2300. So,
Okay.
But the feels maybe a little deeper or something.
Sure.
But I ended up buying what did I buy? I bought a Maria Oliva signature color blend Anubis or color glow Anubis.
Yep. And
those
that
came
was
out
the
today.
Albatross, right? No. Oh, that was the one. Holly Hanley had an Albatross disc made.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah, for her. So I don't know why I
that's
said Maria Oliva,
cool.
but I saw those come out today too. Infinite. So
No, I didn't know that. Yeah. So
she's your girl too, man.
I know.
You got to go. Well, not literally your girl.
Are you sure it was Infinite? I thought DD would
No,
come
that was
up.
DD that came out with that
Okay,
one.
yeah.
I just
Was it a suspect?
got the emails. I think it was an Invader, of course.
okay.
Because they put everything in Invaders. Like they must have a crud ton of Invaders in the
Maybe.
because all of the Team Line series are Invaders. So
Yeah, I did see they came out with some ice discs or something today.
Lucid Ice Culprits.
Yep.
And we had all those. They were ordered. Like I got them all in on time. And
It was like an ice felon or some Ricky discs or
yeah,
something.
there was some Lucid Ice Chameleon. Like it was an Invader and a Felon and a Raider, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah.
just that line of discs that he's been throwing. But
we
yeah.
had them ordered. They should be coming in anytime soon. I called today, but obviously Worlds is going on there, so I'm not going to get an answer for the next couple of weeks from them. So
What else am I waiting on? Well, I'm waiting to get. I ordered them a while ago. I don't know if I remember talking about them. Discmania was making S line special S blend PDs for the Nicholas Antilla European victory. So yeah, I ended up buying a couple of those a couple weeks ago, and they look pretty sweet. The stamp's really cool. It's like a Bobcat or Lynx or something like that. So they might be coming soon. I don't know.
yeah, hoping it's a long way.
It is, yeah. But I'm hoping to throw those so I don't have to throw my lone holes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
yeah, especially since those things are going up in price right now.
Yep.
So, and you're planning on basically throwing all of them once you get them.
Oh, I'm gonna throw the PDs and I'm gonna throw I'll
The
throw
Anubis?
the Anubis. Yeah.
Okay. Cool beans.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I purchased were the MJ
You did get
Comets.
some. Nice.
I did. I got 2. So, and then I also got 2. He had some other like 2022 tour series that came out
really?
also. And it wasn't the Jawbreaker ones. It was a different one. It was an ESP as well. So I grabbed my 4 coming.
Okay.
Definitely don't need them, but I got them. Because I
Oh,
got
I
2 more Sparkle Z Sparkle.
Oh, cool.
They're sitting on the step as you were coming up. I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw, but
I don't think I did.
yeah, I have those just sitting there. But all right, so that's all I got though. I didn't really do anything. Oh, I lied. Brilliant. And if Disc Golf, if DG Max Wax and Zing want to pay me royalties,
Oh, I saw this
for
on the
So you
the
take the
page.
Surf Wax Mini
yeah.
and you put it inside an orb,
Okay.
and then put it inside a Cosmo and then you put the orb on top of it. And I didn't know that they fit together. And then when I looked it up, I found out that they purposefully do that.
Oh, okay.
They're like a stash thing. And not that so I had no clue. I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing in the world. So when we got some, I did it. And by the way, Craig at Zing Minis, one of the easiest guys ever to work with.
That's cool.
Like just super stellar awesome. So anyway, so we got I did that, and I just jammed the Surf Wax Mini inside the orb and then put the Cosmo, and it's like a little carrying case. So
Brilliant.
crap doesn't get all over the Surf Wax Mini. So
That's
I
awesome.
am super happy about it. And you can still use it as mini because all three of them are PDJ legal. So you just put it on the ground. So I've been using a metal mini for a long, long time. I might just use that now.
That's cool.
So yeah, but and we have door disc minis from Zing that look really good around the Surf Wax Mini from DG Max Wax. So doordisc.com. All right.
Got that plug.
Yeah, there it is. So, all right, our Des Moines picks recap. Here we go. JP picked Burr, Wysocki, and Calvin, 1, 2, and 3. I picked Macbeth, Burr, and Wysocki. So it looks like we were both wrong.
Yeah.
None of us had Simon.
No.
And I'm super happy.
Yeah.
Third Elite Series this year. And 4-hole playoff, he won with a clutch putt. That was a huge putt.
That was a huge putt.
Huge putt.
I felt really bad when Burge threw that shot and it hit the stump and kicked. He's lucky he didn't get kicked out of bounds.
Right.
But then he ended up, 60 feet away behind a tree, and all he had to do lay up.
Yeah. And that's really the only way he could.
Right, because that puts the pressure on Simon, but
Yep.
Simon's clutch circle too.
Absolutely. Well, he was probably 45, 50, somewhere around in there. And just like, I love the camera view from right behind him because he just lets it go and then he just watches it and then he puts his finger up, like points to the crowd before it even goes in. It was awesome. I was just like,
yeah. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he and Ricky are tied now for 3 on the season.
And then there's 7 other people that have won, right?
I think
2 or 6 other people that have won.
Calvin has 2.
Oh, Calvin has 2, and then Macbeth has 1. Conrad, not Conrad. Who's the other?
Drew Gibson does.
Oh yeah, Gibby has 1.
I'm trying to think of who else.
Dickerson has 1.
Well, he's got the major.
Oh, he does have the major. Yeah, you're right. So yeah. So anyways,
there's a slew of people in that group.
So as far as everything else goes, the only other thing that I kind of want to well, I guess we'll go over FPO. So I picked Tatar, Gannon, Own. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
I didn't do too bad, except for the fact that Own didn't play. So,
didn't we go over look through
I thought
PDG?
we did.
I thought we did too. Okay. Interesting.
So, but I wasn't looking at it, so I just kind of picked. So,
Okay.
And you picked Gannon, Mondahano, and Tatar. So in that order. So not too bad as far as the FPO goes. On hole 5, Brody Smith. I just have to mention this because I thought it was one of the coolest things. Now it was one of our standalone topics, but since we're talking about the Des Moines, he got to hole 5. Everybody's cheering and all that stuff. And that's that island hole over the water.
Yeah.
That
everybody's island hole looks gross.
It does.
Like all the lichen or whatever is,
Yes.
it's just green, and you're like, I'd hate to go in there.
Yeah,
I really would.
It was like Ledgestone, Sunset Hills. All of their ponds, you look like you could
Just
walk
algae.
across them.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I mean, there were discs floating on top of that algae.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been there.
Oh man, I was watching GK Pro Skins from Ledgestone. Eric Oakley ended up walking in the water to get a disc for somebody. Oh. I was like, boy, this looks awfully familiar.
Yeah,
not Loch Oakley.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
I was trying to think if there was another name of it. Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. And then, okay, so hole 5, everybody's cheering. People step up to the tee, throw. Everybody's cheering. People step up to the tee, they throw.
Yeah.
Everybody's cheering. Brody steps up to the tee. They quiet down. And he's like, no. And he gets him hyped back up. Immediately throws it OB left. He just puts his head down and walks off the tee. But I was just like, yes, I love this. Like, I that's the type of hype I want on the course. Like,
Yeah.
I know.
But the walk of shame off the tee
that was
pad.
even better though. But I love the fact that Brody Smith is making these little changes, like the whole wait till after the 18 to shake hands.
Yeah.
Like, why am I basically conceding the tournament before we even finish the game. So why not just take the hats off and shake after we finish 18?
Right.
You
That
know,
makes
like,
sense. That's what a lot of golfers do.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's from a golf background, I guess, you know. But yeah, I was like, I think it's awesome that he did that, like hype the crowd like that. I think it was even better that he immediately threw out of bounds. And he just had to like, because he was running a hot round. Like I think he was 4 down already through. I think it was 4 or 3 down through there. I think he maybe only missed 1. And I was like, man, he's running, and he did well. You know, he ended up being on coverage again the next round too. So,
but man, there's that hole. So many people like it looks long, but it doesn't play long because like the tee box is just a little elevated, like going across. So many people just ended up way deep, you know, in the woods.
Well, Dickerson, I think, threw a PA3 and parked it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean...
I mean, there was a couple of people that, like, either just, like, landed a bit short and, like, skipped up or, like, like Dickerson's case ended up
getting just absolutely perfect. Yeah. So, but, yeah, I mean, I loved the tournament. I loved watching it. I think there was a lot of great stuff. I mean, Paul Macbeth with, like, a 12 down to come, like, way up the leaderboard.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, he went up on Chase Card from, like, 40-something place or something like that.
Yeah. He shot up, I thought, like 50-some spots.
Oh, so it must have been in the 60s then. Because he was on Chase Card after that.
Yeah, it was something big.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And nuts. I mean, and they proceeded, like, Orem was in with an 11.
Yeah.
And there was quite a few 11s.
Oh, that's another thing we should... Round 1 postponed.
Oh, yes, because they had to play 2 rounds the next day.
Yes. Yeah. I think some people had ended up getting well into the course, but then, terrible weather. They ended up playing a kickball game.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then Gannon Burr's windshield ended up getting taken out because of hail or something like that. Oh,
really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
He went on social media and was talking about it a little bit. He's like, yeah. It's like, well, good thing you're close to home.
Yeah. So I've been watching Gannon Burr, Alden Harris.
Yes.
Those guys.
Yeah, and they were I think they were with Brody and Ezra.
It was on Ezra's channel for just a real small amount of time. But man, those guys are kind of funny.
Yeah,
you know?
Alden's been getting into doing more of the like vlog style stuff recently, and I know along with Gannon, I think they kind of like hook up. They're like Shaggy and Scooby.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, like the Shaggy and Scooby.
Just not as stoned.
No, exactly. Yeah. Well, you never know. I mean, but. They're young. They can't do that stuff yet, so they never would.
Well, yeah, especially with Gannon's mom around.
Oh, true that. True that. So I've played quite a few times with parents when I was playing MA1.
Yeah.
Where parents are on the card or something like that, and they're following around. And I'll tell you what, it is not an enjoyable experience. Some are, some aren't. Mm-hmm. But there was this one where it was a dude and his dad. I think I've already talked about this guy in Vegas.
Yeah.
And dude was like cussing out his dad and stuff. And I was like, whoa. Like, that's the strangest thing.
I was playing at a tournament once too where this kid, I don't remember how long or how old he was, and his dad was his caddy. And his dad's like, why are you throwing that? Like, what are you like trying to like get mad at his son for? Like, it's his tournament. Let him do what he wants. Why getting mad at him? Like, I don't know.
Well, it's that living vicariously through your child, you know, because you can't do it. Or maybe he's just like super passionate dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, yeah. I'll never do that to my child or children anyways. All right, so that was the Des Moines recap. Like I said it, Des Moines. I know it's Des Moines. But yeah, that's the recap. I loved that course. I think it looks great. It plays great. They got signal through the whole thing.
Yeah.
You can watch the whole round. And I just... You know, Simon, like it icing on the cake. I like it more just because Simon can take it down, you know, and took it down.
And this was like the largest payout, like
11 G's that Simon took.
And I think 100,000 total purse for the whole tournament. So that's huge.
Yeah, and that was over Ledgestone, wasn't it? Oh no, just shy of Ledgestone.
I think just shy.
Yeah. So and Ty Tannant. So I had met him playing Memorial in like 2016 or 17 when he was just starting Wander disc golf. He was like handing out cards at the end of the round. He handed out cards and he was just phenomenal play. He was so fun to play with. And he didn't do super well in that round, but he's just a good personality, good dude, like all that stuff. So I listened to an interview with him. So he's also the PDGA sales director or something like that. He does all of their merchandise. He
okay.
does like he's kind of in charge of all that stuff, buying and selling all their merch.
Yeah.
So, but they did an interview where they were chatting with him. It was Ultiworld that did it, I think, or it might have even been PDGA Radio. But they kind of chatted with him. He says, "I'm like my goal is to be over Ledgestone." He says, "I want to bring in more money than Ledgestone." He said the community is the one. Basically, they're reaching out to him and say, how can we make this the biggest event in the world? And how can we and they're the ones putting the money in and doing all that stuff, like the bank that came through and said, no
Right.
problem, we'll give you this much money. And they said, okay, well, how can we make this the biggest event? And he goes, here's your goal. And they're like, all right, give us a couple of years.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's going to happen. So that's fantastic.
That's cool.
So I think we're going to see a lot more on that course over the next few years. And I think as long as they keep improving the course, there's a few little tweaks and things in there. Because was a hole 3 kind of that's that one that you kind of have to throw real hard through the woods and it finishes hard, right? I think that's 3 or 4.
I think so. Yeah.
And kind of a joke of a hole compared to the rest of the course.
Right, yeah.
Hard, difficult, but it's kind of a shot, a hope and prayer. I think if they can kind of clean up a little bit of those holes and things like that, I think it's going to be a fantastic course.
Yeah. I don't know
Never
if
played it, never seen it.
Yeah.
Just speculation from what I've seen on
I don't know. I
broadcast.
think the week before they do all the AM stuff. So yeah, if they bring it all together to be, it could be up there with Ledgestone probably.
Yep. So, all right, let's get into our world's picks. Let's do MPO, FPO. Let's start with FPO this time. Do you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. So I am going to pick Tatar to take down. So the first European to win Worlds. And I am going to take Gannon. And then I can't pick a third. I've been waffling. So there's 2 that I want to pick.
Yeah.
It's either Own or Mandahano.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Katrina's going to be there. I don't think Paige is going to be there with all this crap going on right now. So I think it's going to either be Own or Mandahano. I'm going to go out there and say it's not so I'm going to say Mandahano.
Okay.
Because I think it's hometown love for Mandahano as far as manufacturing and stuff.
I was kind of thinking of that. That makes some good sense.
Yeah. So, and unfortunately, I just don't think Own has the distance to cover the country club. I think she'll excel at Platinum. Jones Platinum. Supreme. Yeah, because of the plastic. Supreme.
Yep.
Of Jones Supreme. I think she'll do okay there, but who knows? All right. Do you want me to go straight into my MPO or?
Wait, what? Oh, sorry. I was looking at something totally different.
Okay.
I've never heard of that before. Okay. Anyway, that's cool. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'm going to pick Macbeth. And then I'm going to go with Simon. And then I'm going to go with... I'm going to go Dark Horse here.
Literally?
Maybe I should. You know what?
He played well.
There you go.
DDO, but
Des Moines, and he did play well because that was the only time he ended up on lead card, right? Was at DDO.
Final round.
Let's do it, man. Let's do Mr. Smith.
I just talked you into it.
You did, because I was gonna go with Burr.
Oh,
but
okay.
I decided I was actually debating between Burr and
Someone, anyone, Bueller,
Era.
Gibby.
Gibbon. Yeah, Drew Gibson.
Okay.
I was thinking between Burr and Gibson. So there you go. All right, you sir, FPO picks.
All right. Man.
No, FPO.
I know. Third, I'm going to take. I think I'm going to take Evelina.
Oh, Sally.
Yeah.
And then
2, I'm going to take. I think I'm going to. God. just gonna say Paige.
Oh, okay. PP, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you said God first, and I don't think, well, I don't think he's playing.
No, not that. He, she,
Yeah.
it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy. And then I can't not pick. I think Kristen's gonna take it.
Tatar.
Yeah, I think it's
With the absolute dominant performance.
Yeah.
The only one that even gave her even remotely a run for her money was Salonen.
Yeah.
Like, incredible. Like, and she's still hurt.
Yeah.
She's still hurt.
That's absolutely true.
All right.
All right. Number 3. I'm going with Eagle McMahon.
Okay. Okay.
2, I'm going to take Calvin. All right. Number 1, I'm taking Boonie Hat Rick.
Ricky. All right.
Same reason.
Uh-huh.
Hometown love.
Yeah, I like it. Man, I can't believe I left Ricky out of my 3. All right. Well,
I mean,
made
Paul
my choice.
Macbeth, Worlds, Emporia.
Yeah.
It all adds up. Like,
Yeah.
just,
I mean,
you know.
Macbeth, 6 times he's won in DDO? And Country Club has been played every time he's won. And yeah.
It's hard not.
Yeah. And it's Worlds. I mean,
Yeah.
he shows up for majors. So always has, always will. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think in every one he has ever played, except for the one that he had to drop out of, he's always finished on the podium. Isn't that something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
So some crazy statistic like that. What is shaking?
I don't know.
Oh, it's yours. You're unbalanced. Your mic. Oh, well.
Oh, okay.
If you hear little rocking sounds, that's because...
It'll probably filter out once I filter
okay.
everything through.
All right,
Hopefully.
then never mind. You won't hear anything. All right. So here we go. I'll say this again. Sex worker, eh? Well, see you later. Beautiful, isn't it? Come on.
It's good.
Come on.
It's good.
Okay. So if you don't get where that's from, that is from Dumb and Dumber. When he goes, big gulps, eh?
Yeah.
Well, see you later. So I used it for Jussi's situation, Maresma, because I figured I'd bring some humor to it and go, sex worker, eh?
Yeah.
Well, see you later. So here's the joke that I will explain. So he got in trouble for being with a sex worker in Sweden. And then he said, well, see you later. I'm going to take some time off.
Yeah. Right. Amazing how that can happen.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
You're just allowed to take time off when you're the head of a company.
Exactly. He's like, I'm going to take a back seat for a little while because
Yeah.
this isn't good. The ramifications are real. They're serious.
Oh, yeah.
We try to make some jokes about it. He made a unfortunate mistake. He chose to pay for deeds outside of his marital vows. And he got caught. So whether it was the first time or his 100th time, it happened. It sucks.
It does.
It sucks. I guess the one thing I have to say is that I wasn't like, no way, not Jussi. Like, it was just like, yeah, I guess so. It is what it is.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But, for me, and this is going to sound horrible, and especially coming from, a Christian, a married man, like, I guess it's something that I'm like, I don't care what people do in their bedroom. And I think this falls along that line for me. But if it's a law, it's a law.
Yeah.
You know that you weren't supposed to do it. There are legal ways to go about doing things like this in the US and in Sweden and suffer the consequences. It is what it is. It sucks. So with that out of the way, how do you think that's going to affect Discmania?
Companies have contingency plans in case anything happens where, people with the higher powers, I don't think it's going to affect them that much.
No.
Because when I first started throwing Discmania, I had no idea who Jussi was. Really. Like,
Okay.
I just started throwing the plastic. I had no idea that he is like the figure that he is for the company. And, he has good relationships with Simon and Eagle, like almost like a father figure, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
At least an uncle.
yeah, Uncle Jussi. But I mean, sales are still, as long as you have those guys pushing your products, you're good. And if you
Right.
keep having these limited releases to drive up the hype of the discs, your sales are going to be fine.
Yeah.
I think the demand for the discs is just so high that it's not going to be, it doesn't matter who's in charge or what the deal is. I remember, you know, in our group chat when it was brought up, I think it was Luke. It's like, oh, why did he like come out and say this at all? It's like, well, he's a fairly open person. It probably didn't need to get out, but the way disc mania is seen over in Europe, you know, Finland, that area, the hype behind disc golf, it was gonna eventually leak out to the community. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, in the United States, small potatoes, but in the disc golf world,
Huge.
big deal.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, I think they'll be okay. Someone else comparing it to like the Nico thing. They're like, oh, you get in trouble, but you know, different situation totally, because like one's on course, one's off the course,
Right.
And they're like, oh, you can just take time off apparently, like,
And it makes it all better.
it makes it all better. Yeah.
But, you know, and I guess when I brought up that thing about I don't care what you do in your bedroom, like, it doesn't affect, in my opinion, it doesn't affect who or what disc mania is.
No, absolutely not.
It affects who Jussi is.
Yes.
It doesn't affect Discmania.
Maybe that's why, as I say, maybe it has to do with the decision making of making these discs limited, like poor decision making.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, but like
Yeah.
in some way, it's kind of funny to like, oh yeah, poor decision making. That explains why
There it
Discmania
is.
doesn't release all these discs.
Yeah. It's a weird situation. I'm sure it's something that, you know, because the very first time I ever heard Jussi's name was a controversy about him not valuing women. I don't know if you remember that back in the day. So there was a boycott of some of the FPO players for the World Tour, and he was the head of the World Tour because he said outwardly, and I don't know if I necessarily disagree with the statement, is that when the women start bringing in the money, we will make the purses as big as the MPO purses.
That's not just a disc golf thing. That's like all women's sports pretty much.
Yeah, but you're seeing what's happening. Even though the women aren't bringing in the money, the purses are going up for the women because of that.
Right.
And I think there's a change, whether you agree with it or not, the change in disc golf is happening. But he was one of the first ones to publicly say, no. Like, you start bringing in the money that MPO does, then I'll start paying you the money that MPO gets paid.
Sure.
And there was a pretty nasty little thing, and people like misogynist and blah, blah, blah. They went on and on about it. This does not help his case.
No, not at all.
For those individuals that remember that situation, this does not help his case. So, you know, do I agree with his actions? Absolutely not.
No.
Like, I don't think there's any justification for something like that, especially as a married man.
Maybe not happily.
Right. Yeah.
Who knows? Like what the situation is. It's weird too because, you know, a couple months ago he got Entrepreneur of the Year in Finland. You know, being heralded as this great business person and pushing things. And
Is
the
this a
highs
case
and
of
the lows.
entitlement?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. But we were talking a while back. Is this a case of good people making bad? You know, we did talk about
Right. Yeah, good people, bad choices.
and how it defines them, or if this is, you know, if it's a run of these things, that maybe you can chalk that up to something. But now he's gonna have that stigma of being
the sex addict.
Yeah, or whatever. It could be.
Right,
We don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like, this is the first time we've heard of it, but
Yep.
maybe there's a history of this.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe it's the very first time anything like this has ever happened, and he's just that unlucky.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but nevertheless, he made the choice. Mm-hmm. So just the same thing, you know, with Paige. Like, she made the choice.
Yep.
Now what happens. You know, and for him, I think the emotional and familial damage and I guess struggles that he's going to go through
Yeah.
that's going to be a lot.
Oh,
That's going to suck.
That's a ramification I never even I wasn't thinking about it at the time, but the strain of the relationship and how that affects Dee Dee that way,
Dysmania.
Dysmania. Sorry, my bad. What's going to happen with him and his family? And all of a sudden, it's is the company in jeopardy?
Right.
Right. That's something that I didn't think about at the time.
Because if he's the owner and there's no prenup,
yeah.
Because it's a big company now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the marital laws in Sweden or Finland or wherever he's from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? But it could be in jeopardy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then what about relationships that he has forged over the years with certain other manufacturers? Mm-hmm. Do they want to be associated with this? Is this something that, are they going to start? Because DD is a fairly conservative company, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And from what I've gathered over the years.
What if this
What
goes
about
back?
Lat 64? Oh, did Innova plant the sex worker?
Dave's getting the revenge.
Exactly. Yeah. He's like, hey, I'll give you $100 if you. Oh,
He sent her all the way over from Vegas.
Exactly.
And then found her on the streets of Sweden.
He was trying to help her out. Oh, see, these are the reasons why you listen to the Night Owls Skull podcast right here.
Yep.
Because you're not going to hear these takes anywhere else.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I hope not. So that's, unfortunate. It sucks. I wish the best luck to him, his family, and I hope everybody comes out on the other side of this better.
Right.
Is what I hope.
Or in typical Discmania fashion, when they're like, we always work on trying to make things better.
Exactly.
When the releases suck, they're like, we're working on it. We're trying to figure out how to get through this.
I wonder what type of documentary is going to come out with these. One of those little, those little 4-minute shorts. Is it going to be him coming running out of the bedroom and pulling his pants up? Oh, sorry guys, I didn't see you there. Okay.
This thing's on.
Yeah. Shoot. All right. Anyways, all right. So I think Austin Weise is next on our topic. I'm sorry, Austin. Yeah. So we have a listener bag review. But in all honesty, we make jokes. It's fun for us. And I guess it's a way to deal with a pretty horrible situation.
Yep.
Wish him the best. Wish his family the best. I wish the company the best. And I hope everybody involved gets through it and is better on the other side. So with all that said.
All right. We have you just said, but we have a listener bag analysis from Austin Weise. And shout out to Austin, because when we first started, he contacted you.
Right. Yep.
And he helped us with some of our audio issues that we were having right away in the beginning. So
that's right. And full disclosure, I played with Austin for many years in MA1, and him and I officially met. And not saying that I'm good, but on a lead card one day. Yeah. And him and I were playing, and I believe it was lead card or chase card, one of the two. But we were playing one day, and I don't remember how I did or whatever, but I remember liking playing with Austin, because I think it was Austin and I don't remember who else it was, but I really enjoyed
great. Well, at least you remembered Austin.
It was a good story.
Yeah.
Yep. It was going somewhere really awesome, but so. All right. Let's hear it. What's he got?
All right. So for his putting putters, he has a Old Glow 350 PA, or it sounds like a couple Old Glow 350 PA 3s. Mm-hmm. So that's what he said for his putting putters. And then he has a Beat Gravity Prowler, mm-hmm. a K3 Rico, a Beat in BT Medium Harp, a new BT Medium Harp. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then it goes on to I think we're going to mids here, Beat Gravity Ghost, mm-hmm. a PFN Star Coyote.
Pre-flight number, Star Coyote.
Mm-hmm. A Gravity Recluse, and a Pinnacle Recluse.
Okay.
All right, moving on to...
And those are, just so you know, Gravity that's all legacy plastic.
Right. Yep. Okay. Then he's got a D-Line FD.
Okay.
A Champion Viking 169 gram.
Ooh.
And then he said a Champion Viking max weight. Mm-hmm. Okay. A Beat Pinnacle Rival. Mm-hmm. a new pinnacle rival, an icon enemy, a beat experimental vengeance,
Okay.
a new glimmer vengeance.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Okay, then he says he's got,
Drew Gibby did a special run of Vengeances.
yeah, I brought one into the shop. Turned one
That
in.
was yours?
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah.
I got it as a mystery disc from Infinite. Okay, then he says he's got a Beat 169 Pinnacle Outlaw,
Okay.
a Beat 170 Icon Outlaw, a 171 Pinnacle Outlaw, a 169 Star XCal,
Okay.
a 175 Nate Sexton Star XCal,
Okay.
and then a FAF Pinnacle Outlaw. I'm not sure what FAF is.
That I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is it.
Wow. So he throws a lot of legacy.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the very first bags I've seen up here that are legacy. And he will like
Is that this?
our
That's
shop
Steve-
updates.
That's Rico, right?
That's Rico. Yeah. He'll like our shop updates
Oh, nice.
because they reached out to us actually,
Get out.
which was really cool. Yeah,
Awesome.
they called the shop. So, but nevertheless, let's go.
All
So PA3, Prowler, Reco, whatever, and then the harp. So I've seen his game. I know his game pretty well. He's a phenomenal player. I know he has had some life happen recently, like as far as had a baby and
Oh, yeah. I saw that the other day.
moved
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. You know, all these things. And when I say the like recently, I don't think I've played with him in 2.5 years.
But
Maybe.
I think they had a baby fairly recently.
I think this might be his second one.
Oh.
Possibly.
Okay.
So you might have to write in and tell us there, Austin. But
Yeah.
so I think
Oh, you're right. Last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
okay.
he is not missing very much as far as the PA3, the Prowler, the Reco, and the harps, old and new. Now, from what I understand, Reco, the Casablast, the K3, they are very harpish, right? They're decently overstable, but not crazy. Just
No,
decent.
they're like
No,
a.
those are the putters. The
They're
302, right?
Yeah,
Or one.
yeah.
Okay. No, I lied.
Okay.
So yeah, I like those, and that K3 plastic. I mean, that's a great plastic, grippy plastic. And the Prowler, unfortunately, I don't know much about.
I don't either.
I'm going to learn a lot pretty soon, but
I don't actually know much about legacy plastic at all.
yeah. And that was something I had to say when we were talking on the phone. I was just like, with the legacy rep, I was just like, I don't know anything about your discs. I used to throw the Cannon. I used to throw the Rampage. Probably shouldn't have, but I did. And I used to throw a Gauge.
Okay.
Those are the only discs I've ever thrown. So
I've heard of the Outlaw. The
yeah, I mean, I
Vengeance.
know the Enemy, the Vengeance, the
Yeah.
Outlaw. Like I
I've heard
know
of Recluse,
them.
yeah.
I know the Rival. Yeah. But
just never
and the
thrown
Ghost I know as well.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I think I got a pretty good lineup. And if I remember rightly, you never threw the PAs. Those were your putters. But yeah, so it looks like you have 3 decent options for throwers. The Reco, I would assume, is a great thrower. I haven't thrown it yet, but with the numbers, the way it feels in my hand, like I want to say it feels slightly like EMAC Judge.
Yeah, I could
Because it
see
has
that.
kind of that micro bead. It has, it's a beautiful disc. I was just comparing it to both of them.
Yeah, I was
I
just
think it's a little deeper.
okay because I was looking at the K1 Ricos just yesterday. I was like, do I want this? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm interested in the P1s, trying the P1s. So,
Me
yeah,
too.
I like that. So, Coyote, Recluse, and the Ghost, I am going to. So, the Coyote I know very well. I used to throw it a lot. One of my favorite mid/fairways for a long time. I say mid/fairways because it kind of has that leopard lip on it.
Yeah.
Or it's not quite that EMAC where it has a bevel. I mean, it is. There's a bit different feel to it, but it used to be a staple in most people's bags back in the day. Like maybe in the late 2000s, it was just a staple. Everybody had a Coyote in their bag. But they're great discs. I mean, great discs. Straight flyers, you can put a bit of torque behind them. They don't roll over. Obviously, if your form's good, but they can get a little understable depending on what plastic you have on them.
So the Recluse is 4.3 4304. So very overstable.
4304. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's like a tactic-ish or a zone-ish.
Yeah, I think it's got a little more. It sounds like it has a little more dump
finish,
than the zone.
Okay.
But the tactic, tactic is supposed to be 4203 or 4.
I think
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then the recluse, that's the recluse, or was that the ghost?
That's the recluse.
Okay. All right. So I have a flight chart here too, so we can actually give some good. And the ghost is, let's see, 4503.
Oh,
So
okay.
about the same. Good dump, good finish. So it's kind of like a verdict, but not as fast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but glidey.
yeah, glidey. Yeah, and then 5304. So just a little slower than the recluse. And then, like I said, the coyote kind of serves as that straight to turnover.
Mm-hmm.
The FD, we all know I love the FD. I'm not going to say anything about it, but I think this one was pretty understable because it's S line. Is that correct?
D line.
D line. Okay, going to be understable. Then.
Yeah.
So, and then the two Vikings. Vikings are very straight.
Mm-hmm.
They have finish, but not crazy. Like if I want to say, I think they're straight, just straight.
Okay.
You know, old school discs. I don't think there's many people that bag them anymore.
I haven't heard of one in a long time.
Yeah, it was one of the very first discs I ever bought. So I bought the Valkyrie, and then I bought a Viking, and then an Orc, and then so it was in that realm of when I first started playing. I still have my Vikings too. I have two of them. So the rival, just for reference sake, is 7502. So that is a new FD. So the new Discmania molded FDs.
Yeah.
Almost exactly the same.
Or what was I just thinking of? We were talking about earlier. Shoot, I can't think of it. Anyway.
Anubis?
No, not an Anubis, because that's a 5500.
Okay.
We were talking about some fairway with like glide and finish. Anyway.
I don't remember. So yeah,
Don't
so
come to me.
rival.
Instinct.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or something like that. It's along those lines.
Yep. And then the enemy is basically a faster. It has a lot of dump though, but the 9304. So the enemy is
Firebirdish.
Firebirdish. Yep. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a great. He's hitting all of them because his FD and his Vikings are going to be a little turn.
Vengeance, I think, is like 10-4, 10-5-0. It's like a PD. Last I checked.
Yeah, let's give her a look here. So the Vengeance is 10602.
Oh,
so
6. Okay.
It is a PD, more glide, of course.
glide.
It looks like it. And then so he has two Vengeances, and then he has an Outlaw, which are 12-5 neg 1-3. So a Destroyer.
Yeah.
And then X-Cows are Dump-O-Matics. And then you said he had an FAF what?
Oh, you back there? Okay.
Was it Rampage or was it Aftermath?
FAF Pinnacle Outlaw.
Oh, Outlaw. Okay, so 12-5 neg 1-3. So
I don't know what FAF.
I don't know
what
what
that would
FAF either is. Yeah.
Austin, let us know.
Yeah. Shoot us a text or
Is that like a signature disc or
I don't know. It's probably something really stupid.
It probably
we're
is.
like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
But okay. So it looks like, Austin, I've seen you throw, so I know all these discs work, and I know you have multiple in your bag because you have wear levels on them, and the different plastics will make a difference. So your Outlaws, you're bagging 3 Outlaws, you're bagging 2 Vengeances, 2 Enemies, blah blah blah, on and on. But it looks like you cycle everything out of there. So the question I have, and I have it for everyone, when you're heavy on one company, why? Is there a reason why you're really loving Legacy? And I know nothing about them, so I can't say anything. I know the plastics I had for the Cannon and the Rampage were the same. They were kind of like Champion, but a little cloudy. They were great discs. I still no, I put the Cannon in the used bin, or I send it to a school or something like that. But I think I still have the Rampage because it came out as like a first run Rampage. It was when they first came out. Because I remember I was like super excited because Rampage Jackson was pretty hot at the same time, the fighter.
Yeah.
So I remember I was super excited about it. But It has nothing to do with disc golf.
Could FAF be like a first run or something like that?
Might be.
That could be.
Might be. Yeah. So, but yeah, it looks like you have, unless you're multiple personalities, but you have a pretty balanced bag. And I've seen you throw, you have pretty much a shot for everything. I'm assuming that, like I said, the layering of them is there. But the only question I have is just, what brought you to Legacy? Like, why so much Legacy? And is it because it's different? Is it because are you sponsored?
He's a big Rico fan.
Yeah, maybe. Rico's a good dude.
Yeah.
Rico and Bamba, they're super awesome people. Like, we were on the card right behind Bamba, Rico, and the stuff he was saying was just hilarious. On that final day, Jordan was caddying for me, and then, I was playing, and man, the stories that he was telling, he was just super kind, always happy, laughing and joking, like just super good guy. So, and then the very first time I played Vegas, I was sitting there and I looked over and everybody's chatting with this guy, this bald guy.
Yeah.
And I look over at the guy and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Rico. And I look at the guy that's next to me and I go, hey, who is that? And this is what he does. He goes, are you serious? You don't know who that is? And I'm like, yeah, why don't you bring some attention to it, right?
Yeah.
And that was Steve Rico.
Oh, that's funny.
And multiple times I've had exposure to him, but
Ryan Miller was doing an Instagram live one night, and I don't remember, it was for like some Discmania release or something at the time, and he was going live. And as you're like doing the live, like it'll scroll like the chat and everything, and all of a sudden it said Steve Rico joins. And Ryan Miller is like, wait a minute, like the Steve Rico? Like, wait, this is really Steve Rico right now? He's like, Steve, would you want to get on with me right now? And sure enough, he's like,
I saw that.
And he went live with Steve Rico. Like, Steve was sitting on his like couch or whatever.
Yep, I remember that.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah. He's a super approachable guy. Like he's a blue collar guy. Like he is, like he owns a concrete. Like that's what they do through their business. I want to say it's Legacy Concrete, but he owns a concrete business, him and Bamba. Like, and that's what they do for their living. So they do, foundation walls, slabs, whatever it may be. But yeah, that's what he does. So he's just a hard worker, and he owns this kind of on the side, and he does such a great job. And I'm really hoping they take off up here because we are bringing them into the shop. So I hope they take off, but. So why, Austin? So that's my question now that we've gone on that tangent. Why Legacy? Because there's a lot of discs out there that do fairly similar things. And, is it you love the plastic? Is it just let us know? So not only tell us what FAF is, but also tell us why. Why Legacy?
Yeah.
So, but outside of that, it's hard for me. It's just like when I play with somebody and I've seen their bag, I understand why they have the disc they have. So it's hard for me to pick apart your bag. Although, why PA3s? Why not judges? Logical question. So you can answer that one as a third one. So here's your list.
I mean, I like PA3s more than judges.
You're weak sauce, that's why.
Okay.
I just agree, like, yeah, okay.
Well, I did move off of them.
Yeah.
But I still don't putt for judges.
Yeah. You're kind of a
We've said putter slut, for a while.
Yeah.
I've stuck with the same putter now for like over a year. So we've got a relationship.
Yeah,
you could say it's pretty serious.
Until the next one comes out. Okay.
I was throwing today, and I was throwing my senseis, and I was like, "Oh, these feel really good right now." I made a couple from like just outside the circle's edge. I was like, "They're really straight and they feel good."
That's what happens. So it's like drugs, like. Putters are like drugs.
Yeah.
Like you keep using the same one and you get kind of like dulled to it. At least these are the stories I'm hearing. You get kind of dulled to the effects of those putters. And then you go and try this new fancy putter and you make one or two of them and you're like, ooh, and you try to chase that high of making those putts. So then you switch to another putter. And then in the meantime, all you needed was the drug that was behind you. The judge, right? So why are you not on judges? That was a really bad. I was trying to make it fit. It just didn't work. But nevertheless. Judges. Always judges. Better than drugs. Kids don't do drugs. Wow, that is a loud bottle.
God, yeah, it's really squeaky.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It wasn't God either. It was the bottle.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Here we go. So.
Welp.
Well, see you later. Putter, mid, fairway, and driver. If you could pick one person's game to make it your own, throwing a putter, throwing a mid, throwing a driver, and throwing a fairway, who is the person that you would pick for all four of those?
Okay. Interesting. Oh boy.
So putter, I'm going to say Conrad.
Throwing a putter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Although, no, I'm not. Retract that. Conrad is a fantastic choice because the Holy Shot was a putter. By the way, the documentary Holy Shot, everything I wanted Fierce to be.
What is it on? Because I saw it advertised, but I'm not sure where I saw it. Because
It's one of the.
Shoot, because PGGA must have put it out, right?
Ultiworld.
Oh, okay.
Ultiworld.
Maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I think I saw it last night when I was looking up stuff.
Well, at least that's where I ran into it.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic. Like, it was funny because Ben texted me and said, Ultiworld, he said, the Holy Shot, like, is what I think you wanted the Fierce documentary to be. I went and watched it, and I'm like, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Like, this is fantastic. So, nevertheless, Conrad, Simon. You can throw Sky God 450-some feet. Absolutely, I'll take that. Mm. And he's a magician with that PA, the PA ace, the P1 ace, sorry. Mm-hmm. That blue one he has. So he's a magician with that. So, and like his putts from like 80 feet are like putting. Like he's just like casual, like super spinny, nice. So Simon for my putts. Mids, there's no question in my mind. There's only one person, is MJ. Fairways, this is the hardest one for me, but Calvin Heimberg, because he is a surgeon with those Eagles.
Yeah.
And then a driver, and here we go, fanboy time. Have you been watching how far Brody Smith can throw just straight hyzer?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like 450, 500 foot, just straight hyzers. Like no flex, no nothing, just pure raw power.
Yeah.
That's not who I'm picking. But I am going to say, I'm going to take P. McBee for the drivers.
Okay. I think that's good.
So there you go. So, recap. Do you need a recap? Mm-mm. Because it's going to be better than yours.
Okay.
Why don't you want to fight tonight?
I don't know.
God. All right.
Well, you took my putter person.
So you could take him too.
Oh, fine. I'll take Simon as my putter.
We just got to pick weekends ahead of time.
Yeah.
All right, Simon.
Mids.
MJ.
No, I'm going to take Drew Gibson.
The buzz. Okay.
Yeah. It's magical.
Mm-hmm. No, the mid-range disc.
The mid-range. Well, yeah. He said, yeah. German got to throw that on the practice round. That was pretty funny. That was pretty good. I'm going to say for fairways. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to say. Oh, man, I can't think right now.
That's not a player.
I know. Give me. I want to say Calvin, but give me. I'll say Chris Dickerson.
Okay. Does he throw fairways?
Not.
If he did, he would be good.
Yeah. And then drivers, give me Eagle.
Eagle. Oh. That's a good choice. That's a really good choice.
Because guess what? Forehand, backhand, lefty, or righty.
Well, forehand, not right now.
Not right now.
But if you just take prime, no injuries, absolutely.
Yeah.
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 I get it.
That's not a very hard decision, I don't think.
Nope. All right, here we go. Jordan's question. Let's see it.
I like how at the end you have MPO, FPO, and nobody picked anything FPO.
You know, because I was... Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Anyway.
Yeah, I just...
Well, see you later.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Sexist much? Well, see you later. All right, here we go. Have either of you seen Future Man, the series on Hulu? I just started watching it. I am about 3 or 4 episodes in.
Future Man. I
Future
think
Man.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It is essentially a gamer that beats the unbeatable game, but what it is actually a test to find the savior of the world from the future. So a future society sends this game back to the 2000s, and a gamer beats it, and whoever beats it is going to be the chosen savior. They're going to actually make them do the real thing.
Oh, so wow.
These people, after they beat it, these people show up, and it's really, really funny. Really, funny. Yeah, there's action. It's really good.
I was thinking this is like, when you said it at first, I was thinking of the Will Forte show, like The Last Man on Earth or whatever.
Oh, yeah. No.
That's what I was thinking of at first. I was like,
no.
Cool.
This is like a comedy adventure. It's funny.
Okay.
I mean, and there's like these 2 over-the-top military people from the future.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Like they're it's really good. So, and he says, does it not kick ass? Absolutely it does. Like the 4 episodes I've seen, I love it.
Is that the question?
That was his question.
Oh, dang it. Well, sorry to disappoint.
Yeah.
But maybe while I'm waiting for things to upload tonight, I'll start it.
There you go. Exactly. Because we're a day off on our recording today.
Oh, yep, that's true. Yeah. But, the other thing I was going to start was the House of Dragons, the Game of Thrones prequel, but I haven't started that either.
I haven't. I'm scared. Because it's been a long time. It's been like 10 years since they started Game of Thrones.
Oh, man. And I don't really remember a lot of it.
Oh, my goodness. Like,
I do and I don't.
Jordan pointed it out to me. And I was like, man, that makes sense when we were at Ledgestone.
Okay.
And I was like, man, that makes sense. Like, is it really going to hit the same way with the way that culture has evolved over the last 10 years as far as, because in the first one, there was a lot of like rape and murder and suicide.
Yeah.
And like, there was some crazy stuff in the first season.
Second season too.
And there's crazy stuff throughout the entire thing. But like that first season was like, oh my goodness. Like crazy. And second season too, you're right. Are they going to be able to hit that type of magnitude, make that with the way society kind of shuns a lot of those type of actions, even though it is entertainment? It's like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder with blackface. Like, somehow he got away with that.
Oh yeah.
If he did it now, do you think he could? Do you think he could get away? I mean, it's Robert Downey Jr. He might be able to get away with it.
He might be able to.
But man, like, see how many people
now I want to go home and watch that movie too.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh my god!
So
I love
funny.
that movie.
And the way that he never comes out of character in that entire movie, Robert Downey Jr.
Until like almost the end.
Except for because he kind of comes to it like, no, man.
It's like, no.
Yeah, it is phenomenal.
Jack Black's funny in that movie too. I love Jack Black.
They're all so good. Ben Stiller, like, oh my goodness. So he brought that up, and I was like, I hope it doesn't ruin it because I'm super excited about it. But I'm gonna let it get about 3 or 4 episodes in, and then come in and like kind of binge a little bit of it.
And the other one too that's coming out in September is the new Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the series.
And I'm like, man, I don't know if I can handle that either.
Oh my goodness! I used to, for fun, I had the uncut versions, like the extended versions, and I had the trilogy.
Yeah,
it was like the box set.
My brother-in-law is like, he has 3 or 4 copies of those movies.
Really?
Yes, he's a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and he has like the originals, and then he has the uncut, and like then some sort of like crazy like box set of like all of them together, and like I'm just like, what the hell did you spend all this money on?
Yeah, exactly. Because those box sets were expensive,
and it's like everybody considers it to be like the greatest trilogy of all time. I'm just like, I can't sit here for 9 hours watching.
It's longer than that. Those uncut ones, oh man, they're so crazy. But yeah, we used to do that in college, where like every 4 or 5 weekends, there we go. I'm gonna sit here and do nothing but like put my feet up and scratch my nethers and watch Lord of the Rings.
All right.
So, all right. So yeah, that's it. So Jordan, Future Man, if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's, like super good.
Okay.
Don't look for any sort of quality, like amazing theatrical, like it is just straight like slapstick funny with some over the top action. Like,
Okay.
it's pretty good. And like the bad guys in it are kind of, you're like, seriously? But I mean, it's funny. It's
Okay,
funny. You should
cool.
watch it. And some of the fight scenes are absolutely ridiculous, but they're almost real. Like, because most fight scenes, like, you like punch and they're like doing all these crazy moves and like people are flying across the room. They have some fight scenes that are just like that stupid, like, I'm slapping and I'm going to grab your leg and try to pull you back,
Yeah.
and, you know, that type of stuff. It's like true how I would probably fight. Like, stop it. Quit hitting me, you know, like, so there
Excellent.
you go. All right. I don't have anything else. Do you want to talk about anything else? And I'll just get to shop updates and then peace us out. Okay.
Do that.
All right. No. I do. OnlyFans.
We're doing this before shop update?
Absolutely.
No.
I'm trying to, like, you know, change it up a little bit,
Oh,
so maybe
okay.
catch off guard and you'll just tell us.
I'm really caught off guard. Like, whoa, mind blowing.
I know. Well, all right. Well, it was worth a try, guys. Okay.
Sorry.
We'll get it for you. I know you want foot pics and unsolicited disc pics.
Yeah.
Here we go. MVP restock is coming in. I got about 170 discs coming in from MVP. Quite a bit. Yeah. We got some good stuff. So it should be in actually tomorrow. So we should get it onto the site probably this weekend. And then we have the Razor Crawl 3s. I actually ordered them today. So they didn't go that fast. And I think there's still some sitting on the dealer site.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think.
It's kind of crazy because, like, Razor Claws 2s didn't really even come out that
just
all
this
that long
year.
ago.
It was like February or something like that.
something like
when
that.
they dropped. So the lure of Razor Claw 3s is that they are the most stable Razor Claws that have come out yet. Mm-hmm. And they are in the
Meta
plastic for the first time, right? Yep. So, because before they were in the
and
vapor.
last.
Yeah, and last year they're not going to make it anymore.
Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. That was the tilts that they're not making anymore. For
No,
sure.
it sounds like this is the final rendition
really?
of it too.
Okay.
I think that was in the description.
Oh.
So, we have Legacy coming in. We got 150 Legacy discs. They contacted us. I had a fantastic conversation with George from Legacy, and he said, bring us in, give us a shot. Here's what I'll do for you. And we went ahead and tried it. So we like carrying kind of these smaller boutique brands. Now, I wouldn't call Legacy a boutique brand, but I think it's right on that edge.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
Not quite a Lone Star, but not quite an Innova or a DD.
Right.
We are going to be placing a Lone Star order with custom stamps. So we'll have the door disc logo on the Lone Star.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we have the DD order. So we should have the Lucid Ice Suspects. We should have the, I think we got some Felons. And I know for sure we got the Albert Tam Bazooka.
Those are cool too. I like that. I like that stamp.
Yeah. And we got the first run Hopes. No, Glories.
Glories.
We got the first one, Glories coming
Orbit
in.
one.
The Orbit
Yeah.
Glories, yep. So, yeah. And then I'm just keeping an eye out for when they drop more Graces. Why the heck are they not putting any more Graces out?
Interesting.
Strangest thing. I haven't seen them at all since that last run of the Tatar Graces.
Yeah. That's really weird.
Because what I'm assuming is they're stockpiling a crud ton of them because they're going to have to put a bunch of World Champion stamps on them.
Ooh, maybe that's what's going
I bet you they're going to drop a ton of Graces when she wins.
Wow.
Even if she doesn't win, I think
feel
they'll
like-
drop a ton.
I feel like on social media, Kristen is saying that she was excited to go to the DD factory while she was, or not factory, but like the offices and warehouse and everything to like look for Graces and like stuff.
But it's amazing to me that they're made by you. Like,
Yeah, right.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not in your country, but like,
Well,
taking
she's
a plane
here and you're in
Yeah.
Emporia. You might as well.
she was in Europe for
yeah,
how
that's
long
true,
before
too.
that? Like, it's not that far. Like, all those places you can just get on a plane for like $40 and go to any part of the
Right.
country you want to. So, anyways, because I know that for sure.
Probably
right.
cheaper than those hookers Jussi was getting.
Ooh, shots fired. Good one. And on that note, peace out.